Hey, what it do, sports world? It's me again. The Winner Circle podcast with me, Ray Diggs, is here, y'all. Where passion meets performance and champions are made. I'm your host, Ray Diggs, bringing you the energy, the insight, and the mindset from across the world of sports. From the locker rooms to the big stage, this is where the real ones talk and legends rise, and the motto stays the same. Winners will always win. The Winner Circle podcast with me, Ray Diggs. We are here and we ain't going nowhere. Make sure y'all tune in because we're about to go live now. Peace. Hey, what it do, sports world, and welcome to the Winner Circle podcast. I'm here again, y'all. Hey, this right here will be the last podcast of the night. I want to talk about why Alabama Crimson Tide fan like myself and the rest of the diehard fans. Why we just gotta accept it, man. Nick Saban is gone, and listen, the talent that Nick Saban was recruiting is pretty much gone as well. Now they're gonna get some talented players, but they ain't gonna have the player. They're not gonna be able to I don't think, perform the way Nick Saban had this team performing. And it first it starts with how Nick Saban was involved. When you go out there and watch Nick Saban, just let's say with the cornerbacks, he was a cornerback guy. His defensive backs was very physical. That's why you got the Patrick Surtain. That's why you got the Micah Fitzpatrick. That's right there why you got the Xavier McKinney. That's right there why you got the Kool-Aid McKinstry. That's right there why you got all of these great, amazing cornerbacks. I don't think they have that no more. See, Nick Saban used to be involved with his cornerback, with his defensive backs. He was always over there with his defensive backs. Same thing with his linebackers. That's why you don't have the CJ Mosleys, okay? You don't have the Reuben Fosters. You don't have that type of defense of those linebackers. You got some good linebackers, but you don't have the great ones. When you have the defensive line with the offensive linemen, they offensive line used to dominate games. Alabama, I remember one year, Alabama had offensive line in the draft every single year. You don't have that. The running backs, they're good, but they don't have the running backs like a Kenyon Drake. They don't have the running backs like a Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram. You don't have those type of running backs anymore. Okay. And I think that right there is the biggest problem when I look at Alabama. I think that Alabama could have went out there, and I think what my opinion was, I think they should have went after Dabo Swinney. Dabo Swinney is an Alabama guy. He graduated, that's his alum. He was an Alabama guy. He's a Crimson Tide to heart. Yes, he coached Clemson, but he's a Crimson Tide at heart. I think that is the coach that they should have went out there number one and got. But I think that Kalen DeBoer was the coach that I think that made the most sense at the time. I think that they put a Band-Aid over a gunshot wound, meaning they needed a quick fix when Nick Saban up and retired. And I think that Kalen DeBoer was the perfect fit for them at the time. Do I think he's going to be the perfect fit in the long run? I can't say that. I don't know. But I will say this right here. He's going to have to win. Because when I look at Alabama, right? Alabama's about championships. They're about national championship, not just basic, like, yes, SEC championships are good, but they're a national championship because that's what Bear Bryant, that's what Nick Saban. These are two of the greatest football coaches that ever coached college football. And I think that Kalen DeBoer got it. And I applaud Kalen DeBoer because he took on a role that a lot of people didn't want. You know how hard it is to come after Nick Saban? It is very hard to come after Nick Saban. And also in his first 2 years, he hadn't been that bad. Do I think he lose games against teams that they should blow out? Yes, they should win games against a team like, let's just say, Florida State. You cannot lose against Florida State. But I know how college football works. I know that college football is, hey, how you doing? Hey, yeah, but I know how college football works. And I know any given Saturday, especially when you're on the road, things can get a little wicked depending on the stadium that you go to. Texas Tech is one of those stadiums. Okay. Pittsburgh is one of those stadiums. Like, you just go, Florida is one of those stadiums. You go down there to the swamp and you just never know. It's like that crowd and it's loud. And then it's like that team plays behind that crowd and it's hard to beat them. But I will say this. Kalen DeBoer is going to have to figure something out because if he do not get and I'm gonna say this: Nick Saban did not win his first national championship until when? It was like his third or fourth year. Kalen DeBoer is in his third year, and I'm gonna tell you, he's doing good to be a 2 year, but he did receive a Maserati. What I mean by that is Nick Saban inherited a Ford Accord. What is it? Accord? Honda Accord, whatever it is. See, Nick Saban inherited that. I'm talking about Nick Saban inherited a Honda Accord with over 300, 400,000 miles on it. Kalen DeBoer inherited a Maserati. Hell, maybe even a Bugatti. And I'm talking about it was spraying brand new coming up off the truck. So that is the difference. One had to rebuild. The other one, the rebuild already done. All he had to do is sustain it. He just had to sustain. Nick Saban had turned Alabama into excellence. Only thing Kalen DeBoer had to do was sustain the excellence. And he haven't done it. I have to say it. I mean, I'm not saying that the man should be fired, but he's not doing. He's not sustaining excellence. I think that he's a nice coach. I think he's a very nice coach. And I don't know if nice coaches win national championships. I think you gotta have a little bit of a-hole in you to win a national championship. That's just my opinion. A lot of people say, man, no, you can be a nice coach. I don't know a nice coach that win a national championship. You can name one. Name me one. Give me one. If you're watching to give me one coach that you feel like is a nice coach that wins national championships on a consistent basis. Because I think that Kirby Smart is an a-hole. Behind closed doors, I think Kirby Smart is a butthole. And that's right there why his teams come out there. Because I see Kirby throwing headsets sometimes. I see he can get a little ignorant sometimes. That's how you got to be. Kalen DeBoer, he's so nice. I never see him throw headphones. And he goes off about the weirdest things. Like it can be something that you be like, you could have got mad at something else. That you should have got mad at this play. You didn't have to get mad at that play. That right there really, it didn't matter. But he got mad. He would have got mad at that play here. And you would be like, oh man, this dude is weak, man. And that's right there what I think with Kalen DeBoer. And that's right there why I don't know if he's is mean enough, tough enough to coach at Alabama. He got to be a tough coach to be at Alabama. It's just like LSU, just like Ohio State. It's just like those places like that, Michigan. You know, you got to be a tough coach to coach at places like that, because if you're not, you're probably going to get fired within your first maybe about 3 or 4 years. You have to be a tough coach to win national championships. And I think Kalen DeBoer is tough enough. I don't think he's mean enough. And they're going to have to figure something out. I think the defense played a hell of a season. I think the defense was really, really good this year. Kane Womack, but the offensive coordinator, I think that they're probably going to have to look at trying to get another offensive coordinator, because I don't think the offensive coordinator is vibing with, what Alabama is. And also they got to find themselves a quarterback. Austin Mack could be possibly, but I think Keelan Russell is the future. I think when I look at Keelan Russell, he reminds me of when Bryce Young stepped on Alabama campus. When Bryce Young stepped on, they kept him out the field the first year, but they could not keep him off that second season. They had to put him out there. Now, I would compare him to Tua Tagovailoa, but Tua was inserted into the national championship game. So, he had already got on the field as a freshman. But Keelan Russell, I think that he was better than Ty Simpson. I just think that they had to stay loyal to Ty Simpson. And that is the reason why reports are coming out that Ty Simpson, if he do not get the grade that he think a first round grade, that he would be looking to transfer. Because I think that Keelan Russell is on his neck. I think that Ty Simpson knows that he cannot hold off Keelan Russell another season. That's my opinion. And I've been saying this right here. I said, man, there ain't no way that they're going to hold Keelan Russell on that bench. You can say Austin Mack. I think Keelan Russell is Alabama's starting quarterback next season. You can, and I will take this right here, and I'm taking bets right now. I don't even bet, but I'm taking bets that Keelan Russell will be the starting quarterback for the University of Alabama next season. And that is the reason why we're hearing reports. The reports came out today that Ty Simpson might be looking to go to either Oregon or Tennessee if he enters the transfer portal, if he do not get the grade that he thinks. Now, that could be fake. that can be lies. Now, I'm not saying that those two schools are the only schools, but I think that I don't know if Ty Simpson is going to come back to Alabama knowing that he has a freshman like Keelan Russell on his back, because this kid is confident, bro. Like, if you listen to Keelan Russell talk, this kid is confident. He knows that he's not sitting on a bench another season. And this kid said it in his postgame, in his pregame a few days ago. I'm gonna be holding up a Heisman. And I think that this kid is. If you've been watching him play when he was at Duncanville High School, like I have, I've been a Keelan Russell fan for a while now. See, I'm into high school. I'm into a lot of high school football. So I watch a lot of different teams. Heritage out of Florida. I watch Duncanville out of Texas, Denton, Texas. South Lake Carroll. In a lot of Arkansas, most Arkansas teams, I watch them. But modern day, St. John Bosco, I can tell you about all of these teams because I've been watching them over the years. Keelan Russell at Duncanville High School was one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. This kid right here burst onto the scene as a sophomore, and he did not go back to the bench. This dude right here is a bona fide football player. He's a bona fide star in the making. And that's right there why I said even this season, I was questioning it. If you go back to listen to some of my earlier podcasts, I was questioning. I was like, man, I don't know if Ty Simpson could beat out Keelan Russell. I don't know if he can beat him out. But hey, I will say this right here. Keelan Russell had some things that happened in his family early in the season with his twin sister. Maybe that right there was the reason why. But I don't see him being better than Keelan Russell, especially with the throwing. And Keelan Russell don't like to run, but he can run. He can run better than Ty Simpson can. And I'm gonna go as far as to say a lot of Alabama fans was trying to hurry up and get Jalen Milroe out of town, and I may have been one, but I always said that I feel like Ty Simpson can throw better than Jalen Milroe, but I think Jalen Milroe was a playmaker. But it's hard for me to see. I think that Jalen Milroe was better than Ty Simpson. That's my own opinion. But when I look at both of these teams, when I look at both of these players, I think Keelan Russell is going to be the starting quarterback. I think it's going to be a battle between him and Austin Mack. If Austin Mack don't transfer, I think it's going to be a battle between those two quarterbacks. But in the end, I can honestly see Keelan Russell, because I think that if he do not be the starting quarterback, I think he's going to enter the transfer portal. I think he's going to leave. And I think that if fair with it and give a fair assessment, I think that Keelan Russell is going to beat out Austin Mack. That's my opinion. I like Austin Mack. He's 6'6", 225 pounds, 30 pounds, whatever it is. But when I look at Keelan Russell, he ain't that big. He's like 190 pounds. He's like 6'3", 6'4", but he's like 190 pounds. But he can throw that ball sidearm, overarm, wherever you want. This kid can do it. But I just think that Alabama fans have to, honestly, they're going to have to do something like they did with Shula. They're going to have to lower their standards a little bit, because I think that is what he's not Nick Saban. He's not Bear Bryant. He's one of those coaches that's going to be able to sustain right there where they're at right now, which is not excellent, but it's just good. Now, do I think he can win a national championship? It depends on how they do in the transfer portals. Being that the transfer portal is the way it is, but I think the teams like Miami, they're going to keep on being good because they have the money. Oregon, they have the money. Texas Tech is going to get better. Texas is going to get better because they have the money. They have a great coach. In Indiana is going. They got the coach. I think they got a young Nick Saban down there. In their head coach. So, and they're going to keep getting good players. They're going to keep getting players to come there to fit what they want to do. And then you got Ohio State. You still got Ohio State. I think Michigan is going to be good with Kyle Whittingham. I think they're going to be good next season. So you're going to have Ole Miss. I don't think Ole Miss is going to fall off a bit, but I don't think they're going to fall off to what it was before Lane Kiffin. I think that they'll still be a really good team. You got LSU that's going to be coming. LSU is going to be good. I think Vanderbilt, they've got the #1 quarterback in this last class, so they have a #1 quarterback coming in. So you got all of these teams that's getting better and better. So Alabama is going to have to figure out how they're going to be able to sustain this. But I will say this right here. When I look at Alabama, honestly, I was talking to somebody the other day, and he did not know. I told him the reason I think that Nick Saban left Alabama. I think that the game was catching up to Nick Saban. What I mean by that is this: when the students become the teachers, think about when if I allow you to come to my house and I teach you everything you need, everything that I do on a daily basis, and then you go and I let you go out there to the world, what are you gonna do? You're gonna do the same thing that I taught you. Now, if you're smart and if it's somebody that admires you, you're gonna do the exact same thing that I did. So guess what? Now you're my biggest competition. The same thing when it went with Nick Saban. Nick Saban was inviting coaches in, like Lane Kiffin, like Steve Sarkisian, like Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart was his right-hand man. He was right there next to him. When Kirby Smart went over to Georgia, just what he did. Guess what he did? He built Georgia just like Alabama. He was stealing the strengthening. Well, he was stealing. He got the strengthening conditioning coach. He got him. Okay, and then he started getting assistants. Okay, that's what he was doing. So what Nick Saban was doing was not only was he stockpiling players, he was stockpiling coaches. So that's why all the coaches that left in the playoffs right now is Nick Saban's proteges, because he was stockpiling coaches as well. Not only they were stockpiling coaches as well as players. You got players that was on the bench that was 5 stars waiting their turn. Guess what? The coaches were waiting their turns. So Nick Saban, that's why he's the GOAT, man. That's right there why he's the greatest of all time. Because not only was he building great players, he was building great coaches. And that's why I think Nick Saban had to get out, because it was hard to sustain it. He could not, I'm not saying he could not compete, but it was harder for him to compete because Nick Saban would come out there and he caught and win 12 games. It was nothing for him to win 12, 13 games a season. But I think when Kirby Smart got to building Georgia, he built Georgia just like Nick Saban had built Alabama. And I think that it was harder for him to sustain and keep up, to the dominance of Georgia when Georgia was built. And then you had Lane Kiffin went out there. Then you had Steve Sarkisian go over there to Texas, and they got a boatload of money over there. So it was hard. And then you had Signetti. He was at JMU. And then he ended up going to Indiana. So you have all of your proteges, the people that sat behind you, sat there up under you and learn. Now they are running their team just how you run Alabama. And I think that right there became hard for Nick Saban. He had to get out because, like I said, it was becoming harder to compete against. It was harder to dominate like he was the years before because his proteges was becoming his competition. But hey, man, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Like I said before, I think you got to just lower it down a little bit. Alabama's going to have to come back. They're going to figure something out, especially with that offensive line. They're going to have to get offensive linemen in there. They're going to recruit some running backs that can not only run the ball, but can catch the ball. Ryan is going to have to, I think Ryan is going to come back next season. He's going to have a big year. Isaiah Horton, I'm expecting for him to come back next season. And then they got some good wide receivers coming in. So I think that Alabama is they're going to have the talent. And then it was also be Kalen DeBoer's 3rd year. Let's see what he do in his 3rd year, y'all. Like I don't want to ridicule the man. I don't want to, beat the man down, beat the dead horse the way he's down right now, because I feel like he's a hell of a coach. And I think that if he can have a big season next year, then we'll forget about all of this right here. Because guess what? One thing about winning cures everything. When you win, guess what? You do not hear about none of the negative things. It's when you lose when you hear all the negative stuff. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. And like I said before, thank y'all again for supporting the Winner Circle podcast. And also I said I was going to make a big announcement, but I'm going to wait a little longer. I want to make sure I want to get with my team, get with the fellas and see how we're going to do this right here. We're going to be coming out with an award next season for high school football in Arkansas. So I want to wait and see, talk to the team and see, do they want to, it could be something, pretty much like it can be a team thing. It don't have to be just my name on it. It can be everybody's name on it. I'm willing to share the wealth. I'm not a selfish person, y'all. If you ever work with me, then you pretty much know that I'm more of a person that's for the team, man. I'm in the military, so I'm always teamwork. It's always about teamwork with me. But hey, man, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. And like I said before, Happy New Year, y'all. It's going to be a great year for the Winner Circle podcast. Hey, I want to say, hey, man, throw a shout out. Make sure y'all go over there to my fellas, to my homeboys over there, Sea Arc Sports, man. Hey, they doing a hell of a job over there, man. Hey, I was sitting there the other night watching high school basketball. If y'all like high school basketball in Arkansas, man, go over there to Sea Arc Sports, man. Hey, they do a hell of a job. I'm talking about they bring y'all the updated stuff. They give y'all the insight. Y'all get to watch these games. I watched games all week last week. The tournament over there in Drew Central. I'm just sitting there watching all the games, man. So if you don't got nothing to do and you want to watch some good high school basketball, go over there to my boys over there at Seahawks Sports. Also, let's be careful with this. The podcast, go over there, like their page, like his page as well. But yeah, man, like I said, if you love high school basketball, especially in Southeast, go over there to Seahawks Sports. I will, if y'all don't know how to spell it, I will pretty much put it in the comment section. Sea Arc Sports, man. Like I said, man, go over there and watch these dudes, man. Watch these men, man. They do a hell of a job. They go to all of the games, well, at least most of the games. They're going right there, man. So, hey, make sure y'all go over there and like them, man. Hey, go over there, like, subscribe to their channel. They do a hell of a job for Southeast Arkansas, man. Continue to support them. They putting these kids on the map. Hey, man, we're gonna be big. It's gonna be big next year when it comes down to high school football, man. We're gonna make sure that we put on for Southeast Arkansas, especially when it comes down to high school football next season. So make sure y'all go over there. They do high school basketball as well, man. I'm not really into high school basketball that much. I watch them, but I don't really cover them that much because I don't know a lot about it. In football, I cover it because I love it, but I make sure I keep up with it. So hey, thank y'all again, man. It's 2026. Happy New Year to all of y'all. Hey, the Winner Circle Podcast. We're gonna have a big year this year. So make sure y'all tune in. Until next time, man, y'all have a great Saturday, man. And be safe out there. Make sure y'all don't drink and drive, don't do drugs, don't do the wrong thing. If you got to think too hard about it, that means it's wrong. So make sure y'all think and do the right thing, man, because we want to lower everything down, enjoy this life, enjoy life, and be free, y'all. Because guess what? You don't want to be locked up in a cell where somebody got to tell you what to do. Somebody got to bring you your mail. Somebody got to bring you the phone. Somebody got to bring you food. Hey, listen, guess what? I can get up right now, go in there and fix something to eat right now. And I know that's right there what y'all want to do as well. So make sure y'all tune in, man. We're going to be talking about a lot of great things this year. It's going to be a great time on the podcast. Until next time, man, y'all have a great Saturday. Peace.
Mr. Diggs, we're on in 5. Vegas can't be choosers, but grandma chose Trace. She raised me on scraps.